Hey, what's good, guys? Eli here. And most of y'all don't know this, but I have a scar on my knee, and I'm just gonna tell you a story of how I got it. Alright, let's go ahead and start. So it was fall break, like a few years ago, maybe 2018. I was at my cousin's house. It was like at the end of fall break. We was hanging out, two of my cousins, and for the point of this video, I guess I'm just gonna call them by their real name because I don't think that they care. It was Maddox and Drake. So we was outside. My dad came over there. Him and his brother was just, over there chilling, talking about how, life's going and stuff. But yeah, so that was going on. And me and them was just playing outside, And they have like these little free-wheeled thingies. That's a terrible shot. But yeah, we have like these little free-wheeled thingies. And they're like racer scooters, I don't know. And I was just chasing them around in them and stuff. We was just playing around, having a good time. And I went inside to get a drink because I was getting, a little bit thirsty. So when that went on, I guess, they went in there. And I went there to, get a glass of milk or something. I don't really remember what it was. And so I went in there and I got it. And whenever I was, in there getting that glass of milk, apparently they hid them scooters in the garden. And I mean, like their house, it was like a really nice house. It was a trailer, but I mean, you couldn't tell it was a trailer just by looking at it. And so I went over there, and I got me a glass of milk, and they hid the thingies out there. So I got done drinking my milk, and then I went out there, and I was like, hey, what's up? And whenever I did that, they didn't know that I had seen their thingy, so I seen it, and I was like, slowly walking towards it, because the deck was just low enough to where I could see the handlebars. And then I seen them, and I went over there, and I was like, okay, they don't let you know that I see it, and they eventually find out that I see it, and they start running over there. And I tried to go over there, and at that time, Drake, well, Drake one was closer, but I knew I would have a harder time getting it from him than I would from the other dude, so I went for Maddox's one. And plus, Drake's one's a little bit messed up, like where you set your foot, that's broken. So I went over there and I tried that, and I tried to get his, and he ended up pushing me away, and he didn't know this, but yeah, there was a lamp post thingy. It was like a solar light thingy that you stick in the ground, it charges up in the day, and then at night it shines. And the head of it had fallen off, the part that actually makes the light. So whenever that fell off, the only thing left was the metal part. I have to get a new charger. You gotta be kidding me. Nope, the charger. At least it's a good charger. Retarded, that's what's going on. Okay, yeah. And so he pushed me out the way so he could get the thingy, and he didn't know it was there, so I'm not blaming him for anything. But my knee lands on, just directly lands right on top of that thingy. On top of that solar lamp post. By all means, he did not mean to do that at all. But stuff happens, and it just cuts a huge hole in my knee. It's super bloody and crap. So I just looked down for like a good 5 seconds, and I'm like, just sitting there. And I eventually look up and I realize what's going on. And then whenever I do that, I up and run over there to my dad. And Brian, he picks me up, we go in there. And his stepmom, I'm gonna call her April. It's not a real name, but and yeah, she's actually a doctor, so she was like, it's okay. I mean, it didn't hurt. I was just scared about getting stitches, because my dad, he's had a whole bunch of stories about whenever he had to get stitches. And yeah, and from what I've heard, it wasn't too pleasant. And, stick needles in there, getting stitched up, yeah, it wasn't too pleasant from what I've heard. So I'm just like sitting there on the table kind of crying because I'm like, I'm gonna have to get stitches. Either that or I'm gonna bleed out on this table. I actually hit that. But yeah. So I'm like scared that I'm gonna get stitches. And then, you know, finally me and my dad, we get in his truck and we start going to the hospital. And he's like speeding, and it's worse because it's like a rainy day too. So I'm like, slow down. Yeah. So we get to the hospital. And we get into the emergency room. We have to wait like 40 minutes for me to get in there. A little like 8-year-old with a hole in his knee. And then there was like, I don't know, it's confusing. Like a little 8-year-old with a hole in his knee is better than a dude whose stomach is hurting and he has a whole bunch of cramps. I mean, like, is that really how hospitals work these days? So I'm sitting there for like 40 minutes. And then they finally get me in the hospital. And then whenever I get in that bed, they tell me to drink this, like, this dude comes in there and he tells me to drink this, like, purple juice stuff. So I drink it. Yeah, I don't know what the heck he did. But I mean, you know, I drank it. He told me to do it, so I did. Drank all of it. Kind of tasted like pee, I guess, like warm pee, but I don't know. Dang, the goal's playing for us. Okay. But yeah, so, yeah, so, then we get in there, you know, it tells me to drink that juice, and he waits like 40 minutes, he's getting there, looking at papers with his thumb up his butt, and I'm sitting over there with a hole in my knee, and I'm like, is that a piece of dirt in there? Because, I mean, like, it happened in a garden, there's like a whole bunch of pieces of dirt and stuff in there. I mean, it was pretty nasty, I have pictures of it, but, you know, and this kid is still my girl. Yeah, I've got pictures of it. It was really nasty, and there's like just a flap of my skin hanging over. And since it was like a lamppost for that garden lamp, it was circular, so it cut in there like a cookie cutter, and it like cut my joint in half. So whenever that happened and it cut my joint in half, I was sitting there. Well, I didn't know. Apparently, I had like adrenaline or something. I could like run for a little bit, but yeah, they couldn't save that skin that was, you know, the skin that was left over, so they had to, like, make a bigger cut in my knee, so sew it up, and then, yeah, but the worst part about that whole thing was physical therapy. So, honestly, I have 2 scars. One's where they stuck a needle through my leg into that cut where it was, and then I have like the actual cut. And I had to walk like 15 feet with that thing in my knee, so I couldn't have it straight. And I was just sitting there trying to walk. Like every 6 hours they would make me get up and do that. Okay, that was like a long ride. So they did that, and I was kind of mad about that. I had to do it a lot. And at this time we went to a church. We don't really now, but yeah, we're trying to look for a good church. And so the pastor from that church came over there, and at that time he's a pastor, but also he has a part-time job. Just open my door. So yeah, he has a part-time job as a lumber cutter, and apparently he had fallen out of a tree or something. And yeah, so he had a broken arm and a broken leg. So I guess we just, you know, vibing together or something. I don't know, but yeah. So me and him was both injured a lot. And more of the story, don't have a retarded cousin. I'm not done with the story yet, but I just wanted to say, if you're like gonna play with your cousin, he's actually kind of, you know, like retarded a little bit in the head. Yeah, just don't hang out with him. Probably a bad idea. So I had to do physical therapy. At first it was going good, and then, you know, I just had to wiggle my toes a little bit just to move. So again, I was sitting there wiggling my toes so I could move my leg, and it was making me move a leg with like a 6-inch needle or like a tube stuck in there. And eventually I got out, and honestly, I just wanted to say screw y'all. I hope that y'all, I don't know, I was so mad at them fools. And then later on, it's even worse. I seen the person that made me do that physical therapy every day at Walmart. Yeah, seeing her, and she was like, hey, do you remember who I am? I was like, I wish I didn't. I didn't say that though, but you know, I really didn't want to see her. She honestly got on my nerves every single day. She like dragged me out of that bed, and it was even worse because I'd be trying to get out of that bed, and then she would like drag me by my legs whenever I was trying to get out of that bed. And honestly, that's probably what like made my leg just like say, I don't want to do this anymore. And yeah, that's like the whole story. I'm pretty sure I got out of there in that wheelchair. I started walking good again. My muscle memory is getting good. Started. So yeah, that's the end of this story. And yeah, so I guess this can be my first story time. Alright, I'll see y'all later. Maybe, I don't know. Y'all have a good day. Subscribe if you want to. I'm not gonna go like, subscribe for 10 years of good luck or something. No, I'm not gonna do that. Y'all subscribe if y'all want to. Maybe leave a like. And yeah, have a good day.